1927. Jack Youngwood here from the New York Legend.
Nancy Jane Harlan for the New York Graphic.
On the strange case of the Radium Girls,
who claimed they were poisoned at the hands of their employers.
and now seek their day in court.
$250,000? That's the price tag on their suffering.
$250,000.
Sounds like a sham to me.
What do you mean? Those girls are very sick.
Sick of working, sure.
Doctors say Radium Girls only have a year to live.
Only a year to live and $250 grand to spend. What would you do with that kind of money?
What would you do to ease your last suffering days on Earth? What would you do with $250,000?
I'd buy a wardrobe like Irene Castle's. I'd give it all to charity. Then I'd fly around the world, first class with all of my friends.
I'd play the stock market.
I'd cut a white fur coat and a diamond from New Hampshire.
I'd use it to pay my medical bills. And then I'd pay off the second mortgage, the one my father took out for my last operation. Pretty Grace Fryer sits at home,
Suffering bravely through this entire ordeal,
struggling valiantly to keep up her flagging spirits.
for the sake of her family and her friends.
I try to smile, but it hurts to smile. But I know that if I don't, I'll go crazy. Aww. Tell us, Miss Fryer, how does it feel knowing you have so little time left? Oh, I try not to think about it. It must get to you sometimes, knowing what you've been through.
And the company's getting bad after your labor.
It all understand what it is.
No comment!
Don't you just want to punch somebody?
Oh, that won't do no good. I just try and think about how it's gonna be when justice prevails. Then I'll send my folks on a trip. They never did get their honeymoon. What a fine example of womanhood. We can only aspire to bear our cross in life as nobly as this young girl. Mr. Barry, I must object to this kind of histrionics.
I had nothing to do with that, Mr. Martin.
I've been in the game a long time, Mr. Barry. When I see a story like this, move over the wires. I am not so naive to believe that a plaintiff's attorney has nothing to do with it.
What's your proposal, Mr. Markley?
$1,500 for each girl.
$1,500?
That's not even a year's wages. We think it's very generous considering your case won't survive the statute of limitations.
This is a case in equity, sir. The Chancery Court will come to a different conclusion.
The Chancery Court cannot rewrite the law, and the law is clear. 2 years from the date of injury, your clients are out of time.
2 years from the date the cause of injury is discovered.
Very creative, Mr. Barry, very clever. I have to admire your imagination, but you have a long way to go before you convince the judge.
And in the meantime, Mr. Markley, the press will continue to have a great interest in this case and in the company's complete indifference to its workers.
No doubt that will prove to be good press for the Consumers League, and you accuse us of exploiting these girls.
You're the one hiding behind the statute of
Miss
limitations.
Wiley.
You know very well the law never anticipated a situation like this. These girls were dying years before anyone knew the cause.
Before anyone knew? Does that include the U.S. Radium Corporation, Miss Wiley? When, or should I say if, this case goes to court, I only hope that's your opening argument, Mr. Barry. You will have made our defense. See you at the hearing.
The arrogance of that man.
Tell me again the purpose of these articles, Miss Wiley.
Public sympathy, Mr. Barry. It's the engine of reform.
You're antagonizing the company.
Then the strategy is working.
But how does it help the girls to read in a dozen different newspapers that they have so little time to live?
Mr. Barry, surely you can see, the U.S. Radium Corporation cares nothing about the girls it has poisoned. But the average housewife in Orange cares very deeply. And so do millions of other women across the country. These women shop, they buy watches. Markley can be as smug as he likes, but the Consumers League campaign will lead to only one outcome, and he knows it. That's why he was here today.
I only hope you're right, Miss Wiley.
Public sympathy, Mr. Barry. Wait and see.
Dear Miss Fryer, I read of your woeful situation and the amendment to the Constitution, and I'm prepared to offer you a solution. Venison! a wonder tonic made from all natural ingredients. Venison will restore your health and vitality. We are prepared to offer you girls a lifetime supply of venison in exchange for the exclusive rights to use your pictures in our advertisements.
Dear girl, I read about you in the Billings Gazette. I run 100 head of cattle up here, and I do very well on my own. I have always longed for a companion, and I am well equipped with a comfortable home for you in your final hours. Don't you think a girl like you deserves a few fleeting hours of happiness? Sincerely, your admirer, Leonard F. Watkins. P.S. Encloses my picture.
Look at this, Catherine. This man actually sent in a picture. You alright, Catherine?
Bleeding again.
Should I get the nurse?
It did this before. It'll stop.
Maybe we should go.
No, don't go.
Don't you need your sleep?
Who can sleep? I never sleep.
Sleep tomorrow.
Yeah, might not wake up.
Of course you'll wake up.
Well, sometimes you don't come out of it so well. Don't go so good. Like my mother's cousin went into the hospital for appendix. She didn't come home again.
Catherine, you can't think that way. Look at all these letters. It's like Miss Wiley said. The people, they'd be on our side, and she sure was right. Look at this one, from California.
But what if we don't win?
Of course we'll win.
But what if we don't? My father will lose his house. We'll be on the street. You'll be on the street. Doesn't your father owe thousands? And you and Tom won't never get married. How can you stand it, Grace?
Catherine, please.
And don't you ever wonder? I never hear Tom complain. How can Tommy stand it?
Catherine, once the judge hears our testimony, he's gonna rule for us. He'll take one good look at us and it'll be over in a day.
You think so?
Sure, we'd be awful hard to ignore.
Won't that be something then? See the look on Mr. Reader's face when we get on the stand?
You wanna read some more letters?
I couldn't find any chocolate, so I got you some vanilla instead.
Took you long enough.
Hey, don't get on me. I had 6 people stop me on the way over here. Each of them reporters, and all of them asking after you.
Waiting for me to die.
No one is waiting for you to die.
It's true. One of them called my mother the other day, asking if I had died. When she said no, he sounded disappointed.
Eat some of this, you'll feel better.
Evening, girls. How about a picture?
Hello, Mike. What are you doing?
We just need some pictures for the graphics exclusive on the girls.
Exclusive? What are you talking about?
$5,000. That's what. How about it, Grace?
That sound good to you?
Think you could use $5,000?
I don't understand.
Perhaps you've heard of Bernard McFadden.
That faith healer?
Herbalist, Mr. Craig. Herbalist. Bernard McFadden's patented herbal remedies are just what these girls need to get them back on their feet. And the graphic will pay for it. All we ask for is the exclusive right to your story from here on out. See for yourself.
So, you're gonna pay us to go see this Bernard McFadden?
They're serious, Grace.
Let me see that.
Grace, what does your father still owe on the house?
I don't know exactly.
And what about that last hospital bill? That'd be a couple hundred at least.
At least.
Maybe we should think about this.
And all we do is talk to this herbalist fella? Of course, the graphic will have to get their fair share too. A regular series of features with photographs, the course of the treatment, your illness, recovery, or otherwise depending on how it goes.
And then you print whatever you want?
Maybe we add some color. Everyone adds color.
It doesn't sound so bad.
Maybe we should talk to Miss Wiley about it. Miss Wiley? What's it to her? You're the ones with bills to pay.
It wouldn't be right without talking to Miss Wiley first.
You're a big girl, Grace. Can't you make your own decisions?
Of course I can.
You take it if it came from the company,
The company owes us a lot more than that.
if you ever see it.
Grace, maybe we should do it.
Grace, you'd have to talk to the reporters anyhow. Why not get something out of it?
He's right, Why give away your story when people are crazy to read about it? The day the graphic ran the feature on you, boom! Sold out every copy at every newsstand. Everyone can sympathize with the plight of some poor, sick girl facing certain death with no
Grace, we should at least think about this.
Of course, I understand. You're worried about what people will think. But hey, you've got to look out for your own interests here. Look out for number one. That's the way. Everyone else is out to get what they can, for sure. Why sit back and keep your nose clean when everyone else is up to their elbows in it?
So bad, I removed it just by the finger going out of her mouth, as you can see.
That's all right, Dr. Neff. You can put that away.
Maybe you'd rather look at it on the x-ray. This was an expensive case to treat, and I never did get no compensation.
I sympathize, Dr. Neff, but I'm not sure I understand.
Here it is straight. There's going to be a lot more girls coming on saying they got sick of it. So, maybe we can do business. I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
I'm not following.
Suppose you were to give me a list of the girls who worked here. I teach for that there'll be no more lawsuits.
You think you could cure them?
I couldn't call it cured, no. Like I was saying, I scratch your back, you scratch mine.
How so, Dr. Neff?
I'd examine them for radium necrosis, and then I come up with a favorable diagnosis. Pyorrhea, say, or something else. A lot of the cases will just die a natural death anyway, and the rest we can put off until the statute of limitations kicks in, and it's too late to sue.
You'll persuade them they haven't got a case against the company.
Exactly. And if it did come to court, I could testify that there was some other problem. And it would be a strong testimony coming from the dentist who treated them.
What makes you so sure they'll come to you?
They'll come to me quick if I'm charging nothing.
Because we'd be paying.
Exactly. We understand each other, Mr. Reader.
Exactly what are you asking for, Dr. Neff?
$10,000 for my trouble sofa. And for every girl, I'd agree to see if we can earn out $2 for every visit. Plus expenses from the x-rays. I'm suggesting a gentleman's agreement here, Mr. Reader. But off fits, not in writing.
No.
Okay, we'll put it in writing.
No, we'll do nothing of the sort. Your proposal's immoral and will have nothing to do with it.
Immoral, you say? You're a fine one to be talking about rules.
Mr. Lee,
When you got your own hired guns ready to testify.
those are expert witnesses.
Expert witnesses, paid back uses more like it. None of them's got the dirt I got. If you're smart, you'll play ball with me. Believe me, there's lots of folks who'd like to see this information.
You're threatening me.
Just a business proposition, Mr. Reader. Looking out for my own interests. Same way you look after yours.
Mr. Lee, please escort Dr. Neff to the door.
All right. You don't want to play ball. But believe me, when all this shakes out, it won't be me playing the short end of the stick.
Gentlemen, I want you all to make statements on what happened here today. We'll send them to the State Dental Society. Then Dr. Neff will see who's playing ball and who isn't.
An excellent idea. I don't know. Perhaps I shouldn't be too quick to dismiss this proposal.
What do you mean?
We're in a very bad position here, Mr. Reader.
That's true. Mr. Lee says you're having trouble getting girls to work here.
Yes, and we've lost some contracts because of it,
And it's going to get worse?
The papers are full of stories about those girls.
making them out to be saints.
And what defense can we put out?
Only to say that we'll try it in court.
And in the court of public opinion, we've already lost.
Perhaps we should reconsider. It certainly wouldn't hurt to have a testimony from a dentist who treated those girls.
Neff could be helpful to us. We should retain him
Retain him as what, an extortionist?
as an expert.
Like Dr. Flynn.
Dr. Flynn is a respected professor at Columbia University. Neff is just some neighborhood dentist.
But Dr. Flynn
even treated some of the girls, didn't he?
He didn't treat them, he consulted with them.
Dispense medical advice, Arthur.
It wasn't medical advice, it was an expert's opinion, a scientific opinion.
How about this? We retain Neff, but we don't put him up to the stand, just so that he can't testify for the women.
That is the most important thing.
Yes, I agree. That's the most important thing. Would you agree to something like that, Mr. Reader? Mr. Reader? Mr. Reader?
Markley, we can't possibly go through with this. We can't get into bed with a man like Neff.
Arthur's right. We can't do business with Neff.
He could hurt us. We have to take steps.
Neff has already given us everything we need. New evidence, gentlemen. This is grounds for postponement.
3 months. 3 months to study an X-ray. It's outrageous. And the girls? Did you see the girls? Their eyes are like saucers, looking at me. Terrified.
Mr. Barry.
How are they going to hold out 3 more months? Catherine Shaw can be making it to the courtroom today. And Grace, she was trying so hard not to cry. Of course, I had all the answers. Go home, girls. Get some rest. That's the best I can do. Get some rest.
You're doing wonderfully, Mr. Barry. It's a difficult
I don't understand people like Markley and Reader. How can they play this kind of game with those poor girls sitting right there?
Maybe this will help to explain. I received a letter.
You'd think they'd be eager to put a stop to this, with the kind of publicity it's gotten. But no, Markley seems to enjoy the very sport of it. What he can get away with. It's cold. Very cold.
Mr. Barry.
What's this?
It's from Catherine Drinker, Mrs. Cecil Drinker of Harvard. She's an industrial hygienist also, and she worked with Dr. Drinker on the study of the radium plant. It was a joint effort, actually.
That's very interesting, Miss Wiley, but we've already seen this document. There's nothing in it to help us.
You've only seen part of it, Mr. Barry. This is a complete report. Please, I received it this morning. Mrs. Drinker has been following our story very closely in the papers, and she was particularly disturbed to read that last article in the Ledger, the one where Mr. Lee says her study clears the company.
Reader doctored the report. He doctored the report.
Apparently, he pulled out one page, listing the blood conditions of dozen employees, and passed it off as the whole thing. Doesn't look so bad by itself, does it? But in context, it's a somewhat different picture.
We can use this.
Yes, that should impress the judge.
The judge, Miss Wiley, I'm not going to wait 3 months to make use of this. I want you to call your contact at the New York World. If Reader will let us present our evidence in the courtroom, you can read about it in the newspaper. January 12, 1928. Jack Jones for the New York Letter.
Nancy Jane Harlan for the New York Graphic.
Radium Girls go to court today.
Radium Girls knock at the doors of justice. Will they be heard?
These poor girls face pain.
Disfigurement.
Ruin.
And death! And as the clock ticks away the precious moments,
A hearing begins in Chancery Court.
where the U.S. Radium Corporation demands a postponement,
And plaintiff's attorney, Raymond Berry, makes a shocking disclosure,
showing that the company lied to the Department of Labor,
showing that it distorted the results of a Harvard study.
concealing the ill effects of its product.
Read all about it in the letter.
Read about it in the graphic. We care. Because you care.
Very bad.
You didn't read it?
Make a point not to these days.
I wish others would do the same. Mrs. Mitchell from across the street walked right past me this morning. Didn't say a word. I know she saw me. And the women at the market and the greengrocer, the way they glance at each other. And at the club, Mrs. Middleton and the other ladies, the whispers.
Why don't you put that away? Read something else. I saw the journal around here. Why don't you read that instead?
At the club today, someone actually had the nerve to say to me, "Is it true? Is it true?" she said. "Did your husband really poison those women?" I said, "Mrs. Cowles, if you really think it is true, why would you speak to me at all? I certainly wouldn't associate with a woman whose husband had done such things.
Why do you go there if that's the way people are?
I've been a member for years."
What do you want me to say, Diane? That we knew we were poisoning people, but we were making too much money to quit? Is that what you want me to say?
I certainly don't want you to say such a thing.
Even if it were true? Or especially if it were true.
Is it true?
Is that what you think?
What would you like me to think?
For goodness sakes, Diane, don't you see? It's Monsanto. He's behind all of this. He's been feeding information to the Consumers League so they can railroad us.
Why would the consumers
A bunch
think-
of radical women, do-gooders, half of them are Reds, socialists probably. Same thing with that club you're a part of.
What?
You women just go around and think you can fix all the world problems.
I
Well,
can't, I'm
your
sorry.
husbands go out and make a living. You're gonna quit that club.
Quit the
And
club.
stop talking to that idiot Miss Middleton.
You're not
She doesn't
making
know
any
anything.
sense.
None of those women know anything. You don't know anything.
Did you lie to the Department of Labor?
What?
Did you lie?
I didn't lie. I just...
Arthur,
I have a fiduciary duty to the company.
I can't listen to this.
Diane, I have documents, articles, people with tumors the size of baseballs. Radium therapy, the tumors disappear. Diane,
I'm tired. I'm going upstairs.
Diane, I save lives. I make lives better. Mild radium therapy invigorates. You can't really think that I'd lie to you. You can't think that I'd poison people, can you? Diane,
No.
do you ever think I could hurt you? Or Harriet?
Certainly not.
Then
13 girls have died.
people die every day. The newspapers are full of reports of young, old, infants, children younger than Harriet die every day.
They worked for you.
They worked other places too, Diane. I have an expert from Columbia University who says there's no connection between our plant and these illnesses. Would you like to see the report?
And what else could it be?
I don't know, Diane. I really don't know. I've looked everywhere and I don't know. Nobody knows. Please say you believe me. If you don't believe me, then what is it all for?
Artie.
Do you remember the day I told my father I wasn't going into the ministry? What you said to me that day?
You can do just as much good in a boardroom as you can in a church.
You remember?
Think I would forget?
I was such a scared kid back then, and he was such an icon. I couldn't have stood up to him without you.
I'm sure you would have. I know you would have.
And ever since that day, he's been looking for signs. Signs that my soul is lost. You don't think that, do you? That my soul is lost?
You're a good man, Artie.
You save lives.
You save lives.
Everything I've done, it's meant for you. You know that, don't you?
I know.
Please don't let that be another reporter. Don't answer.
Arthur!
Is that Mr. Lee?
Charlie, for goodness sakes.
Just got off the phone with someone from the ledger.
Can't this wait until morning?
Oh, I'm sorry. Good evening.
Mr. Lee?
It's Dr. Lehman.
Dan?
He's dead, Arthur.
What?
He died this morning.
Charlie, that's not possible. I just saw him last week.
They were just here for cards a month ago. They were just here.
Martlin's done the autopsy. They said it was a severe anemia.
He's blaming the radium.
I was talking to a reporter from the ledger. I'm trying to make up a statement for them before.
When are the services?
I'm sorry.
The services.
I don't know.
We'll send flowers. Diane?
Of course, I'll call Louise. I should go see her right now. I'll see her right
I
now.
would not do that if I were you.
Why ever not?
Because she's planning to sue.
Louise?
She's filing a wrongful death action against the company. It's best not to talk to her.
But Dan was never sickly. He was always out on the golf course or sailing or his garden. Artie, he kept a beautiful garden.
We'll talk about this in the morning, Charlie.
Oh, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. I'm sorry to bring such bad news. Have a good night, Mrs. Reader.
Mr. Lee.
Charlie can be a bit excessive at times. But we'll have to say something.
You needn't explain.
Sometimes it's necessary.
It's all right. You needn't explain. We're going to get rid of this now.
There's half a case under the sink.
And we'll get rid of that too. We'll have no more of it.
I'll do it. Diane, I'm in too far to quit.
I really didn't expect you to.
February 12th, 1928. To Mr. Raymond Berry from Harrison Rutland, Medical Examiner, Essex County. We've examined the remains of the radioactive substances in large quantities, the lower jaw, upper jaw, and lumbar vertebrae. No evidence of syphilis is found.
Body is radioactive.
Bones of dead girl. Kick off, gamma rays.
Catherine Wiley of Consumers League declares new evidence shows company lied.
Dr. Joseph Neff, a Newark dentist who treated Amalia, has turned over portions of the jawbone he removed from her mouth. X-ray films show the jawbone is still radioactive 5 years after the girl died.
Will this make your case?
Will this force a settlement?
Make our case? No. This gentleman will make our case.
Last night, in a graphic exclusive, the founder of the U.S. Radium Corporation broke his long silence with this shocking announcement.
Radium is one of the most dangerous substances known to man.
Dr. von Sachiki, is it true you assisted with the autopsy?
Yeah, and given my expertise in the field of radium extraction, I have concluded that this poor Miss Manager girl had enough radium inside her body to kill 10 people.
Doctor, what does this mean for mild radium therapy? Are you now advising against it?
Radium is the cause of death for these poor young girls. It should be considered the most dangerous substance.
Do you agree with the doctor's prognosis that the radium girls only have a year to live?
From what I have seen, they will be lucky to last that long.
I'll tell you what we should have done. We should have taken up the reporter on her offer when we had the chance. That's what we should have done.
$5,000 don't make me laugh.
And you know what else? We should have talked them up too. Because let me tell you, they'd have paid. And you know what else we should have done?
Stop telling me what we should have done. Lots of things we should have done. No use in talking about it now.
Fine, just keep your shirt on.
What do you think, red or blue?
So what'd Barry say? He's gonna go back to the company?
I like the red one, but it don't fit so well these days.
You think he'll try and talk them up a bit?
Miss Wiley thinks we should do another interview, so I say, what's one more, you know?
What if they came up to 5,000? Would you take it then?
Let them come up. I'm not caving in.
It's called a settlement.
A settlement? It's just a way for them to hide.
Let them hide.
Then they win.
So what if they win? They're gonna win anyway.
Nice you got so much faith in me.
Grace, you got one lawyer working for nothing against 6 who are getting a bundle. And you think you have a chance?
You know what I found out today? They put lead screens in the laboratories for the technicians. Did they give us lead screens?
Grace.
What do you think? 100 girls in a